Welcome to the Social Media Recap Show, brought to you by the geeks at Blogging. Social Media Recap is a weekly look back at the changes in social media platforms, apps, and marketing. Recap. And down to the very last second, I am writing questions for our new social media quiz for charity. And yeah, I just wrote the last one. So hopefully you can answer them, Barb, because later on in the show, you'll be playing for your charity, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But I just want to say hello to you.
Hello! Hello! Or as they say in Wales, hiya!
Is the camera switching to you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't see it switching to me.
I don't see it switching to you either. So I'll switch it manually if for whatever reason it's not doing it.
I don't know.
I can hear you. So maybe we're just having a conversation, just you and I. And that's okay.
My camera's on. Hi! I don't know why it's not auto-switching today. But that's okay.
Yes, that is okay.
We can adapt.
Yes. I'm going to switch back to me. And...
Ah! Sorry.
And I'm just checking settings. Don't you love live shows? Bandwidth settings.
I know, I didn't change anything from last time.
I didn't change anything either, so maybe it's just trying to fool us.
It could be my network. It's not happy sometimes.
In the meantime, Barb, you should tell everybody what charity you're playing for today.
Absolutely. When we get to the game, I am going to be playing for Strong Women, Strong Girls, which is a charity. Their mission is to utilize the lessons learned from strong women throughout history to encourage girls and young women to become strong women themselves. By building communities of women committed to supporting positive social change, Strong Women, Strong Girls works to create cycles of mutual empowerment for women and girls. I really like this one. I learned about this from my niece, who is involved with it through her sorority in Northeastern. And so she's been very involved in it, and so ever since she's been involved, I love the premise of it, and so every time I do charity stuff, this is who I do it for.
Very cool.
Hooray!
The camera's still not switching to me, so I'm going to switch to myself. We'll see how this live recording goes. If you're tuned in and you're just hearing us, or you're only hearing half of us, I apologize. There are show notes available on mobloggy.com/blog. You can follow along in my lip syncing there. For whatever reason, we're having these technical difficulties. So let's just get right into it. I just want to say Barb has joined me again. She is my best friend forever because the original guest wasn't able to make it at the last minute. And, of course, I reach out to the most wonderful person in the world, and she says yes, like within an hour, so I'm able to switch things up. So in your honor today, Barb, I don't know if you can, how clear you can see this.
Oh.
But I'm wearing my still on the screen there, #BFF shirt in your honor.
Oh my God, that's awesome!
Into the Social Media Recap Show every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll give you updates on social media platforms, applications, and marketing. So, in that respect, social media platform updates is up next, and Facebook, as always, has the most updates. Let's see. I'll just start from the top and go down. Some of these I won't get into super detail about because unless you are already doing it, it won't quite make sense for you. For example, John Bloomer just posted some observations on Facebook website custom audiences, meaning if you are a power editor, ad creator on Facebook, there are some changes to the defaults when you are setting up pixel captures via your website that remarket back to Facebook. If you do that, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't, we're moving on to the next thing.
A change will do you good. Okay, sorry.
I can hear you, but it's not. Oh, wait, it started to switch. Say something again.
Huzzay! Huzzah! Woohoo!
Yeah, switching again. And it may have been switching this whole time. We're really going to look goofy.
Well, what else is new?
All right. Bandwidth targeting is the next thing. And that means, and this is actually very interesting, so when you put an ad into Facebook, it will give you the option of whether or not you're targeting mobile users. And so now you can get down to even further details and target people with 2G, 3G, 4G. So I actually think that's kind of cool. No.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, you don't do Facebook ads, huh, Barb?
No, I don't.
Okay.
See, there you go.
Last time Barb was on the show, she made all kinds of cool Vanna White gestures and faces. So Barb, just add noise to them, and the camera will shift to you.
Well, that's why I decided to do the little, the little song snippet. So you're just going to get my 2 cents in.
Newsfeed updates. Mari Smith actually posted a really good status update on her Facebook page about clickbaiting and link priority. This is actually pretty huge when it comes to being a marketer. In the past, we've always cheated when it came to links because we knew that photos got priority in the newsfeed. So we would post a photo and then we would add a link to it and then maybe say something clever to try to get people to click through to the link. Well, now Facebook's trying to completely disarm that practice. So going forward, hello marketers, make sure you're using the native link that you want people to click through to. Couple of things. That native link that you want people to click through to needs to be legit. If it ends up clicking through to something that's not cool, yeah, it's not going to show up in the newsfeed. Number 2, no more what we call link baiting in a status message update. So not a read now, click more. You should just be posting the link, let Facebook do its little trick of filling in the photo and a little bit of information about that link. You can still edit that text before you post that link, and you can even put up a different image if the one that Facebook inherently pulls from that link is the ideal one. So, what have we learned here? If you want, go ahead.
So you mean that when I click on something, it's actually going to be what I want it to be instead of some stupid, oh, this is a really cool picture, click here to see this, and then it's just garbage.
Yes, that should start to diminish. Nothing ever works 100% of the time, but yes, that. And if you're a marketer and you want to get a link out there, post the link as Facebook has intended. Don't try to add it with an image anymore. Don't try to just put it as a status update message because those will actually receive much lower ranking now than if you just inherently post the link. Does that make sense?
It does to me.
Okay, good. You're the only one I know that's listening. All right, next thing for Facebook, 20% text grid tool has been added to the ads manager. So once again, if you're a Facebook advertiser and you get those denied messages saying that your Facebook ad is 20%, more than 20% text, and that's why they're not going to do their ad for you, they've actually added a cute little grid tool. I think it sucks.
Tell us how you really feel.
I mean, I understand the point of it. However, the way they have it set up, it still doesn't account for 20% text. So say you have a piece of text over here and a piece of text over here, but they're little. The way that grid works still makes it think like you're taking up more than 20% of the image. So even if the grid is telling you you're over 20% text, and you know for a fact that you could fit that in there 4 to 5 times into the whatever the size of the image is, fight it. One after another fight Facebook when they tell me some ad is denied. I always say, nope, not the case, because I'm paying attention before I submit it. So, long story short, there is a new tool in there. It will help give you guidance. It is not the be-all, end-all, and don't be afraid if Facebook denies your Facebook ads to fight them if you know you're right. Because I don't think it's a person that actually does it. It has to be a computer.
So what I'm hearing is they're putting out all of these new tools, but nothing's perfect, and you really don't like this one because it's far from perfect.
Yes, that's called social media.
Just checking.
On to Instagram. They have no major platform updates. If you're somebody like me who has to sign in and out of Instagram all the time, the login page has changed. Big deal. However, they have just launched a new app called Hyperlapse. and it's pretty cool. I was testing it yesterday. And so if you have, well, regular Instagram, you have 15 seconds worth of video that you can upload. Well, if you were to use this hyperlapse app, you could take like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a whole minute worth of video, adjust the speed on it, and hyperlapse will condense your video down by adjusting the speed. So I did a 15-second video on hyperlapse, put it to 6 times faster, and it turned into a 3-second video.
So you did something really, really fast.
Yeah, but it looks cool because it looks like little ants moving around, and it's fun. It's another tool.
Yeah, the picture that they have on the article shows the like the sun going down. See, because I printed the article. See, I prepped.
I can't believe you printed though.
I'm old school in some ways.
Age.
I'm old school, yo.
Well, I think it's a cool app. It's free right now. I suggest you download it and try it. It integrates with your Instagram, so you can post your video to Instagram, and then, like Instagram does, you can post it to Facebook, Twitter, Flickr. If you have a Tumblr account, you can email it. So I posted directly to Facebook, since Instagram owns or Facebook owns Instagram. By the nature of it, Instagram, even though they're the ones who launched Hyperlapse, it's really owned by Facebook. So anyway, it works.
So it's
cool.
Yet another Facebook update.
I put them in that order on purpose.
You're so smart.
There is a Twitter update. When I did my research, this came in like last second, but Twitter has announced that, let me read my notes, analytics available to all. So if you're curious through your own personal accounts, if you're not an advertiser, you are able to now see all of your analytics associated with your account. That includes likes and favorites and how many times people clicked on links that you've shared, which could be cool. So if you're not an advertiser, it might be a good way to see if you should be. You can't make faces, Barb, unless you make noise.
Sorry, I said bring on the silliness today, right?
I have links to all the articles where I found this information, mobloggy.com/blog. One of the caveats is that the account must be active for at least 14 days. Duh. I mean, there should be at least 2 weeks of activity before you get any kind of true analytics on anything. So, cool, easy, tweet away. You'll be able to tell how your tweets are doing. There's only one quick app update today, and that is for LinkedIn, which is ideal because the rest of our discussion will actually talk about LinkedIn. But they've updated the inbox, so on the app, I'm talking mobile phone usage, updated the inbox so it's easier to reply, and now you can add personal notes to invitations. So if you use the desktop version, a little pop-up message box, and it gives you a default, I'd like to be a part of your professional network or something along those lines. Now you can do it on the app. You can add a personal note. You can't slide and add a personal note. You actually have to go to that person's profile, and then when you ask for an invite, you can do it that way.
Well, that's cool because I actually use LinkedIn for my professional networking, so that's really cool for me because I hate when I'm on my app that it would only send that generic one, and I hate when people send me that generic one. I want to know who you are, why you want to connect with me, and kind of why we should be connected through networks. So that's cool.
Do you ever ignore people, Barb, who ask to connect?
I do.
Why?
Because they're
message.
Well, it's a generic message. They don't say how they know me or how they got to me. They're not connected at all. They have no posts. They have no, if they're a newbie, if they're not in my industry or not in my professional development thing within my industry. So I'm kind of picky. I want to actually know you or know of you before I add you to my network. I'm very picky with my LinkedIn.
Well, and that brings us to our question of the week. And I'm actually going to roll the tip of the week into this as well. So question of the week is LinkedIn really worth the effort? What's your initial response, Barb?
You know, I'm making a face because this is my thinking face. I don't, I, I don't know. I'd like to think that it is. I'm very lucky that I've been employed for the last 10 years and haven't been out in the job market. And so everything that I've heard is that LinkedIn will come in handy when you come to looking for a new job because this is your professional network. But I don't know. I've had people reach out to me through LinkedIn knowing that I know somebody at a company that's hiring and asking for me to give somebody an in that way. I have never had to use it that way, but I'm building my network just in case someday I sadly have to. Does that make sense?
No, and I think well, no, not no, that doesn't make sense. Yes, that makes sense, but I think forever people have used LinkedIn as an online resume. I know for me personally, I've been able to keep track of all my jobs because I make sure I stick them in there, and I've had many jobs throughout my little life. So I think first and foremost, that's a platform for people to show what their experiences have been throughout their professional career, right?
Yeah, that's a very concise way to say what I just said. That's awesome. Thank you for saying what I meant to say, Jodi.
Did you just say that? I was listening.
No, you said it in you made more sense. It is an online resume. That's what I use LinkedIn for. And I forget about it because I deal more with my personal social than I do my business social.
Sure. And I've had some people weigh into the question before our show today, and I think a lot of people feel that way, that the only people that really get anything out of it would be marketers or possibly headhunters. A few, I don't know, I guess you have to define what marketers is, because for our clients, we help them post relevant content to their business, but there are a few caveats to that, and I have a few tips to share in with that. Number one is complete your profile. Who are you giving thumbs up to over there?
My boss snuck in to see what I was doing because he's leaving for the weekend.
Oops.
It's okay.
So complete your profile, and Barbie, I think you said it best. When you see somebody else who wants to connect with you and they don't have a photo, or they don't have that many connections, or their profile isn't completed, you're wondering if this person is even legit, or if LinkedIn just sent out to the entire email address book of this person.
Yeah, I wonder that. I mean, frankly, if it's going to be something that's an online resume for me, if it's going to be something that I'm going to eventually use, or push out conference notices, which I do, or push out speaker notices like I do for our events and our education, I want to make sure that it's hitting the right audience. So, if my network is connected to some of these people, more power to them, then it'll trickle through to them, hopefully.
Yes, ideally. And if you're on LinkedIn enough, you do notice that whenever you like something, or someone in your network comments on something, or you see them like something, you see it. It actually shows up in your feed. So even if you're sharing your conference content to a limited number of people you're connected with, that doesn't mean they won't comment or like on it and it eventually be seen by the rest of their network. What will turn people off, though, is if you don't have a complete profile, because you need to let people determine whether or not networking with you is of mutual benefit. So if you don't have a photo, if you're not letting them know what you're doing now or what you've done in the past, you might be losing a possible good connection. Number 2 tip that goes along with this is to join groups on LinkedIn. Are you on any groups on LinkedIn, Barb?
Yeah, I'm on 6 or 7, I think.
That was a good face.
Oops, I forget. There's a video camera right there. Yeah, I'm on 6 or 7. I'm on some that are association-based because I work for a trade association. So I'm on some of our boards or other associations that are similar to ours. I'm on the Association for Associations board or in their group. And then because I deal a lot with e-learning and conferences and e-learning and more e-learning. I'm on several e-learning groups and get their updates, and those actually have come in really handy for networking for me.
There are lots of reasons to join groups. One, you might find other people that you can network with that you might have not necessarily found through regular channels. And because you're possibly joining groups that are associated with your profession, you'll have an opportunity to bounce ideas off of other people who are in your profession without there necessarily feeling like there's competition involved. Number three, and this is a marketing tip, when you belong to a group, by default, your notifications when you belong to a group will send out at least a weekly digest of all of the conversations that are going on in that particular group. So as a marketer, one of the things that we do with some of our clients is we'll post to those high member groups, and maybe some not so high. The lower the number of the members, I guess the more opportunity you might be able to be seen amongst the list of items. But if you post to a group and are one of the few, you'll have a subject line and a title line that'll show up in that weekly digest email that goes out to all of the members. So that could be a way of getting noticed. Obviously, if you post to a group, you want it to be relevant, timely, informational content, no sales spills on LinkedIn. That doesn't work on LinkedIn at all. People will hide you, they will unlink you. LinkedIn is not meant to be a salesy place, which actually goes into, oh, it's actually number 4 on my list. I skipped one. Inform but don't sell. Unsolicited inbox messages are simply considered spam. It's all about current relationships that you have. It's okay to ask a LinkedIn connection if you see that they're connected to somebody you want to be connected to, if they can give you an introduction. Those are subtle but not salesy. But I would not inbox anybody directly, and I would never post any content trying to get people to buy now.
You know, I just want to add one last little point about the belonging to groups. I have actually ended some of my subscriptions that used to come into my email box because I get hundreds of emails a day, and I can get that same or similar information and updated articles and tips and things like that that get posted into my groups on LinkedIn so that my email doesn't get littered, but I can still get access to that information and then communicate directly. It's not going to go to some, Survey Monkey email box somewhere, mmsend./thing, whatever. Know what I'm saying? Yo?
That's a really long email address. Just kidding. No, definitely good input, Barb. And you can easily change those notifications on your LinkedIn account to not receive them at all or receive them weekly. Or if you love getting inundated with email, you can have them set up to where you get them as they happen, which I would highly not recommend.
And if you don't go to a group very often and you don't click through on the emails, you'll get an email after about a year from that LinkedIn group from LinkedIn that says, we noticed that you're no longer clicking on links, so we're just going to stop sending you the digests. You can come back and subscribe anytime. So I actually just go to the groups and check things out.
That's so clever.
That's so clever.
And there are a lot of local type groups that have a smaller member base, and so if you are a B2B type person or you get a lot of your business through locals, I highly recommend looking for a LinkedIn group that's associated, or you can create your own LinkedIn group, and that would give you even higher control over the information that's going out on it. Number 3 is post regularly, but no fluff. Keep it business oriented. So this is one of the few platforms that I love because I'm not seeing pictures of babies and kitty cats. Not that I don't like babies. I've never been a huge fan of cats, but that kind of fluff is pretty non-existent. I think the worst I've seen are a few memes, but they're like inspirational, motivational, work related. So I can't give them a big bleh because they're doing that. So it's not like Facebook and Twitter and all that. No cutesy, funsy stuff. Keep it about business. Remember that people actually are looking at it. Even if you feel like you're not a high, heavy user of LinkedIn, lots and lots of people are. So if you're trying to remain top of mind, you're trying to get information about your business out there, informational, remember, more informational, less salesy. I personally think it's worth the effort.
I agree. And I like to cross post. I like that in LinkedIn when I do post updates or when other people post updates and I reshare them, that I have the little checkbox that I can send them straight to Twitter as well, because I have my business Twitter account attached to my LinkedIn, so that anything I post on LinkedIn goes through my business Twitter account. Because I have two.
You have 2 LinkedIn accounts?
No, I have 2 Twitter accounts. I have my personal and my professional.
Wow.
Well, because I don't want my personal stuff all out on the professional thing.
That's okay. I respect that. Guess what part of the show we're on now?
Quiz time! Happy dance, happy dance.
I have.
Well, I guess I shouldn't happy dance until I answer them, right?
I found an app on for my iPad that has sound effects, so hopefully this part works. Okay, so here are the rules, Barb. I have 5 questions. You have 30 seconds. For every single question you get right, you will earn $10 for your nonprofit. Say again what that nonprofit is you're playing for today.
Strong women, strong girls.
Strong women, strong girls. We have the link available, so if Barb completely bombs her quiz, help a sister out. The link is available on the blog for you to be able to donate in Barb David's name. Cool?
Thanks for the vote of confidence. If she totally bombs this, you can donate on her behalf. Okay, go ahead.
I may or may not have given you a giving question. Okay, are you ready, Barb?
Go for it.
Let me start my 30-second timer. Make sure the volume's all the way up.
I'm going to look right at you. You're going to be very intense.
I'm not looking at you at all. I'm looking at my questions. Ready?
Go.
Can you blog from LinkedIn?
I don't know.
Yes or no?
Oh, no.
What's another name for hashtag?
Pound sign.
How many characters in a tweet?
144.
Oh, no, that's actually an.
Oh, it's 140. Darn.
Can you post to groups in LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Okay, and here's your last gimme question.
Did you just say I was wrong on that one?
No, but you ran out of time.
Oh.
But I'll say the last question anyway because I love charity.
Okay.
Number 5. This is a hard one.
Number 5 is hard.
Chocolate chip or oatmeal cookie? Oatmeal.
Oh. Well, chocolate chip. Duh. Of course, oatmeal chocolate chip is even better.
Oh. Okay, so let me calculate. You got number 5 right. You got number 4. Okay. Can you blog from LinkedIn? Absolutely, you can.
Can you? See, I use LinkedIn from the app, so you can't from the app.
Not yet from the app. However,
see, so technically I was right.
They had early publishing privileges, and you had to opt in for it. And now, if you have publishing capability, a little pencil will show up next to where you might normally type in a status message. And that's how you know that you're able to publish blogs on LinkedIn. You can request this information. So you said, I don't know. And then you said no. So I can't count that one, Barb.
Sorry. I'm still here. I'm here. I'm sorry.
All right. What's another name for hashtag? You said pound sign. You got that one right.
Pound sign. Because, of course, you have to do that. I said 144, but it's 140.
Okay. Maybe I should give you half credit for that. I'll give you $5 for that one.
Huzzah!
So you got 4 out of the 5 questions right. Well, 3.
3.5.
So 10, 20, $35 you earned for your charity today.
Woohoo!
Nice job.
Yay, I earned something other than shopping through Amazon Smile for them.
One quick surprise, since my other guest could not I was going to say because he was actually my uncle. My Uncle Larry was supposed to be on today's show, and Barb was able to fill in at the last minute. As a thank you for filling in at the last minute, my Uncle Larry has agreed to match whatever dollars you won today. So
Hooray!
you actually earned $70 today for, say your charity one more time.
Strong women, strong girls.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here today, Barb.
Jodi, it's always a pleasure. Anytime. I will bring the silliness anytime with my purple pen.
Tune in next week. I actually have my guests lined up in advance again. Hopefully that doesn't kick me in the behind. But this person that's coming up next week is actually in the healthcare industry, and they are in human resources. So we'll hear some interesting stories about how she uses social media for recruiting. And next week's question is Facebook free? That's a good question, huh?
No, that's like there's a price to fame.
Join me next week.
I already answered your question.
I'll be here every Friday, even if Barb isn't, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. You're tuned into the Social Media Recap Show, but only for the next few seconds.